Hi, good morning to everyone. This is Dr. S. Kanimuli, Associate Professor, Department of Agriculture Biotechnology, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. Today we are going to see about colorimetry. Okay. So you can see this picture. So this is the picture of colorimeter. So mostly it is available in the small scale level laboratory. Okay. So next introduction. Colorimeter is an instrument, okay, which is used in the measurement of luminous intensity of the light. Okay, it is first invented by Louis George Rubasco in the year of 1870. Right. So you can see the picture of Rubasco and also the old instrument of colorimeter. Colorimeter is the most common analytical technique used in the biochemical estimation in clinical laboratory, and it involves quantitative estimation of colors. Okay, so you can do the quantitative alone, not qualitative. Okay, you can do the quantitative estimation by using the colorimeter. Quantity means what? Amount, gram, milligram, like this, like that. Okay. Next, a substance to be estimated colorimetry. If you want to do any estimation of the solution, means that solution should be in colored, okay, or otherwise it should capable of forming color substance by adding some of the reagents. That only we can do the colorimetric reactions. So colored substance absorb light in relation to the color intensity. The instrument used in this method are colorimeter or photometer or absorptiometer. Okay, so it is also called as photometer, absorptiometer. The difference in color intensity results in the difference in the absorption of light. Okay, so difference in the color intensity results in difference in the absorption light. Okay, it's the difference fully based on the absorption of light, absorption of colored substance. Okay, the intensity of color is directly proportional to the concentration of the compound being measured. So finally you give the results. This results, the different color gives the based on the concentration of the compound being measured. Okay, so the table shows the various wavelength, and at the particular wavelength some of the color absorbed and some of the color transmitted. Right. So first one is 400 to 420 nanometers. So it's all everything. It's a spectrum, visible spectrum region. Okay, so it's what color it will absorb means violet color. Violet color only will absorb, and it runs with the green to yellow color. Okay, so absorption color is violet. Okay, so next range is 420 to 500 nanometer. So it absorbs the blue color light and it transmits yellow color light. Next one is 500 to 570 nanometer. So color absorbed, what color it will absorb in, that is green color, and what color it will transmit to, that is red color. Okay, so next region ranges 570 to 600 nanometer. So it is also in the visible spectrum region. So what color it will absorb means yellow color and blue color will emit, that is transmit. Right. So next range is 600 to 630 nanometer. It absorb blue color, and green to blue color will transmit in the region of 600 to 630 nanometer. So the last one is 630 to 700 nanometer. So it will absorb red color, it will transmit green color. Right. Next, principle of colorimeter. Okay, so here the amount of light, the principle fully based on the amount of light absorbed, amount of light transmitted. Okay, so it is based upon the two laws. One law is Beer's law, second one is Lambert's law. Okay, so first we will see about the Beer's law. When a monochromatic light passes through a colored solution, the amount of light transmitted decreases exponentially with increases in concentration of colored substance. So here it is fully based upon the concentration of solution, that is the amount of light absorbed by a colored solution, which is directly proportional to the concentration of substances in the colored solution. That is A proportional to C. That is absorptions directly proportional to the concentration of the compound, concentration of the colored solution. Okay, so here where A is a light absorbed and C is the concentration of the solution. Okay. Second law is Lambert's law. What does Lambert's law mean? The amount of light transmitted decreases exponentially with increase in path length of the cuvette or thickness of colored solution through which light passes. Okay, so it is fully based upon the path length. Okay, that is, the amount of light absorbed by a colored solution depends on path length of cuvette or thickness of the colored solution. Okay, so Lambert's law, path length of the cuvette or thickness of the colored solution. Beer's law, concentration of solution. Okay, so here the equation is A equal to A proportional to L. That is, A means amount of light absorbed, L means length of path length of the cuvette or thickness of the colored solution. Okay, so L means path length of the cuvette. So next one is combined Beer-Lambert's law. Okay, here amount of light transmitted through a colored solution decreases exponentially with increase in concentration of colored solution and increase in the path length of the cuvette or thickness of the colored solution. Okay, so this is a combined law of Beer's law and Lambert's law. So Beer's law means what? It fully based on the increase in the concentration solution. Lambert's law means what? It's the thickness of the colored solution. Okay, so this is the combined Beer's law. So what's the equation is A equal to KCl, that is K is the constant of the color solution, C equal to, or C is the concentration of the solution, L equal to path length of the thickness of the solution. Okay, A means absorbing, that is light absorbed. Clear? So next, instrumentation part. Okay, so what are the parts are present in the colorimeter? Okay, so these are the parts. Okay, first one is light source, a monochromator or the selectors, solution sample holder, cuvette, and photosensitive detector system, measuring device. So these are all compartments. These are all parts are present in the colorimeter. Okay, so first one is light source. Okay, so this is the flow diagram of colorimeter. First you can see the light source. It may be any light. Okay, so maybe mostly tungsten filament lamp mostly we are using. Okay, so this is the slit. Through this one in the light, with the intensity of light pass through the lens. Next it is passed through the filter, then it reaches to the cuvette, and finally photocell, then and it's the output. Okay, so first you will see about the light source. Most commonly tungsten filament lamp only used. Okay, so this is, you can see the diagram of tungsten filament lamp. Okay, so it's a filament mode of tungsten sealed in the glass envelope. Okay, so it is tungsten, it is sealed in a glass envelope. Okay, and it is filled with inert gas. Okay, so this envelope is filled with inert gas. Okay, and the lifetime is limited due to gaseous tungsten formed by sublimation. Okay, so lifetime is limited. Why means due to the inert gas. Okay, due to the gaseous tungsten formed by the sublimation. You can see the tungsten lamp. Okay, so next lamp is carbon arc lamp. So carbon arc lamp also used as a light source in the colorimeter. Okay, why? Means if sufficient intensity of light is not obtained from tungsten lamp, if you are not getting a particular, if sufficient intensity of light is not obtained from tungsten filament lamp, then carbon arc lamp can be used as a source for color measurement. Okay, so it's a carbon arc lamp. Okay, next one is slit. We have seen the slit, right? So it's an adjustable one. Okay, which allows only a beam of light to pass through it. Okay, so the slit only allows the light, not other things. Okay, and it prevents the unwanted or stray light. Okay, it prevents the unwanted or stray light. Next part is of colorimeter is condensing lens. Okay, so here light after passing through slit falls on condenser lens, which gives a parallel beam of light. So once it's entered condensing lens, it gives the parallel beam of light. That is parallel single line, right? Single line beam of light will be passed through the condensing lens. So next part of colorimeter is monochromator, that is our wavelength selector. Okay, so monochromator is also called as wavelength selector. Okay, what's the meaning of mono? Mono means a single, okay, one. Chroma means color, chromatic color. Okay, so monochromatic light is a single color band of light. Okay, so monochromatic light means what? Single color, one color band of light. It may be a green color, it may be violet color, it may be a yellow color, like that. Okay, so it's a single light, only one single light. Okay, only one color. Monochromator and filters are used to split the light from the light source. Okay, so you can in most of the instrument, it may be a colorimeter, it may be a monochromator, or it may be a filter. Okay, so in some of the instrument, both parts are present, this monochromator and filter. Okay, and what the use of monochromator and filter mean? It is used to split the light from the light source. Okay, finally it gives the single light, right? So simple filters are either maybe colored glass or suitably dyed gelatin sandwiched in a glass. Okay, what's the filter range is 400 to 680 nanometer. Okay, so monochromator means, mono means single, chromo means color, that you have to remember. Okay, it gives the single color band of light. So next one is filter. Okay, so filter, in most of the instrument, filter and monochromator are present. In most of the instrument, filter or monochromator are present. Okay, so what is filter? We already seen it's made up of colored glass. Okay, so filter are used for selecting light of narrow wavelength. Okay, so it's used for selecting the narrow wavelength. Okay, and it filters will absorb the light of unwanted wavelength. Okay, so it will absorb the unwanted wavelength and allow only the monochromatic light to pass through the sample. Okay, so next parts are present in the colorimeter is sample folder. Okay, so it will allow only a single monochromatic light. Okay, so example, green filter. Okay, so if you now you are keep the green filter now, it will absorb all the color except the green light. Okay, so it will allow only green light to pass the sample folder. Okay, so which is allowed to pass through the sample folder. Okay, so here light transmitted through green color filter has the wavelength from 500 to 560 nanometer. Okay, so green filter wavelength ranges 500 to 560 nanometer. It will allow only the green light, other light will be absorbed by the filter. Filter is used always complementary in color to the color of the solution. Okay, so I will show this one. Okay, color to the color of the solution. Okay, this is a complementary filter you have to use. Okay, so if you want, if your solution is yellow to green color means, okay, you have to fix the nanometer ranges 400 to 430 nanometer. Okay, so here what light will absorb means violet color light only will be absorbed. Okay, so if your solution yellow to orange means color absorbed is blue color, then what the wavelength absorption is 435 to 490 nanometer. Okay, so the selector filters has the color to the complementary to that of the color of the unknown solution. If your solution is red color, here it will absorb the blue to green color. Okay, here you have to fix the ranges 490 to 500 nanometer. Okay, if your solution is in purple color, right, so it absorbs the green color. Okay, so then if you have to fix the nanometer ranges 560 nanometer to 580 nanometer. Okay, and if your solution is blue to green color means, okay, it will absorb yellow to orange color. Now to fix the wavelength range is 580 to 650 nanometer. If the solution is green color means it will absorb the red color. Here the wavelength range is 650 to 700 nanometer. Okay, so next, cuvette sample holder. Okay, so here cuvette Cuvette means what? It's a sample holder. It is used to carry the sample. It is used to carry your solution. Okay. So once the monochromatic light, okay, reach to the sample holder from the filter. Okay. What happened? It is the sample holder is also called as cuvette. Okay. So it is made up of a special glass or plastic or quartz material. Okay. Or the dimension range. What is the dimension of cuvette is 1 centimeter. Okay. So it's a common. The dimension of cuvette is 1 centimeter. It may be a square, it may be a rectangular, round shape with a fixed diameter and having uniform surface. Okay. So the colored solution in the cuvette absorbs part of light and remaining is allowed to fall on the detector. Okay. So the color solution in the cuvette absorbs the part of the light. Remaining is allowed to fall on the detector. Okay. So cuvette means it's a sample holder. It is holding the sample for analyzing, for estimation by using the colorimetry. Okay. So it is made up of a special glass, plastic, quartz material. What the dimension range is 1 centimeter. It may be a square, it may be a rectangular, it may be a round shape with a fixed diameter. Okay. So diameter range is 1 centimeter. Okay. The color solution in the cuvette absorbs part of the light and remaining part is transmitted and is fall to on the detector. Okay. So for example, a solution of red color transmits red light. Okay. So the remaining color will be absorbed by the filter. So will be absorbed. Okay. And a solution of red color is transmit red light and absorb the complementary color green. Okay. So it absorbs the complementary color is green. Okay. So if your solution is red color means it will absorb green color and the remaining red light will be transmitted. Okay. So next, so this is the cuvette. You can see the cuvette. Okay. So this is a cuvette. It is most commonly used. This is the light beam. Okay. From this way only it will pass. Here will be your filter. Then it will pass the light pass through the cuvette. Okay. So this is the clear side. This is the frosted side. You have to keep. You have to place the finger in the frosted side. Okay. So most of the instrument having a double sample holder, that is one for sample, one for the reference or one for the blank. Okay. So blank mostly you can use your any distilled water or your organic solvent, okay, which is used for dissolving your sample. Okay. So it may be based upon the colorimetric instrument. Okay. Next, photosensitive detector. So detector. Okay. So what is detector? Detectors are the transducer which convert light energy to electrical energy. Okay. A detector should possess some of the characteristics. Okay. What are the characteristics? Should be sensitive, should have linear response, its noise level should be low, it have short response time and should be stable. So these are the characteristics the detector should have. Okay. So what are the characteristics means? It should be sensitive, it should have a linear response, noise level should be low and should have short response time and it should be stable. Okay. So detector or photosensitive element which convert the light energy into electrical energy. So how it convert light energy to electrical energy means normally the light will be passed. Okay, the transmitted light will be from the sample holder. Then it reaches the detector. Okay, in the detector, it will strike on the cathode. Okay, so the cathode part will be present in the detector. It will strike on the cathode. Then what happens? It will start to emit the electron. Okay, so once the electron emitted, it finally reaches to the anode. Okay, so what happened here? In here, this anode, what happened? It will generate the energy, that is it will generate the current. Okay, so this current is measured. Okay, so it just give the detail about the concentration of the solution present in your sample. Okay, these electrical signals generators directly proportional to the intensity of light falling on the detector. So intensity of light means what are the sample, what's the concentration of the sample or present in what's the concentration solution or present in your sample. Okay, one of the common used detector is barrier layer cells. So detector means you should remember always that it converts the light energy into electrical energy. Okay, so it converts the light energy into electrical energy. So what are the different detectors are used? Okay, so most commonly barrier layer cells. Okay, the most commonly used one, and it's the simplest one. Okay, compared to all the detectors, it's the most simplest one. So another detector is photo emissive cells, photo multiplier tube, photo conductive cells. So these are all detectors for colorimeter. Okay. So in that I told you, so one detector now, one detector means the detector having a cathode part and anode part. What happened? The intensity of light from the sample holder, it reached to the detector. In the detector, it will strike on the cathode part. Okay, so it will emit the electron. Okay, the emitted electron reached to the anode. Okay, so it reached the anode. Here only the current will be generated. The current here, the current only, the electrical energy only measured, which gives the detail about the concentration of the solution present in the sample. Okay, so next part is readout devices. Okay, so what are the readout devices available means galvanometer, ammeter, recorder, digital readout. Okay, so these are readout devices. Okay, and this signal may be transmitted to the computer or printout devices. Okay, so this signal may be transmitted to computer or printout devices, or the output mean the electrical signal generated in photocells is measured by galvanometer, which displays percentage of transmission and optical density. Okay, so finally you get the graph. That graph okay, shows the percentage of transmission or percentage of absorption, and the x-axis shows the optical density. Okay, so next one is advantage of this colorimetric. It's inexpensive. I already told you most of the small scale laboratory having this type of colorimetry. Okay, very well applicable for quantitative analysis of colored compounds. Okay, so it's a very well applicable for quantitative analysis of colored compounds, and it is easily cartable and easily transportable. Okay, so this is the advantage of this technique. So it is inexpensive and is very well applicable for quantitative analysis of colored compound and easily cartable and transportable. Okay, so next part is application part. So next part is disadvantages part, that is it cannot be used for colorless compound. I already told you, if you want to analyze if you want to estimate the compound by using the colorimetry mean, that compound should be in colored. Okay, so if it is colorless means that should not be estimated by the colorimetry. Okay, this is the one of the major disadvantages of the colorimetry. And it does not work in the ultra visible and IR regions. Okay, we have seen only visible region. Okay, so we can utilize only visible region, not the ultraviolet region or IR, infrared region. Okay, so we cannot set specific wavelength as we have to set range as a parameter. Okay, we could not set the specific wavelength. Okay, by using this colorimetry, and similar color from interfering substance can produce error in results. Okay, so if you are having a solution now, that solution having a various color. Okay, so if it is in similar color means we could not use this one due to the interfering substances. Okay, can produce the error in the results.